All right, guys. So when I was referencing like my software setup in the one of the other videos, I will actually just go through and so I'll go in. I'll just show like my CRM setup. It's just HubSpot. I don't pay for the expensive HubSpot. I am paying for the $20 per seat with a couple of guests. And in doing that, I pay for mine. I pay for Valerie's. Yeah, that's it. Mine and Val's. And then like my sales guy Geo. So like my sales guy Geo, when we're owner financing, because he's bilingual and his dad is Hispanic, his dad's selling it for us, and then Geo's translating everything. It's so easy. We're turning these around in 30 days, 45 days, sometimes 60. You know, that second holding cost of a month adds up. But we are getting these properties, turning them around, seller financing them to whoever has down payment and income. Okay, but like, you know, we're doing English, Spanish, it all works out. And then we literally just use like a deal tracker. I'm gonna set up a TV like over there so we can track deals. We have lead, prospect, offer sent, contract signed, in title. And once it's in title, once earnest money's been delivered, you know, this is kind of a dual purpose one. Like when we drop earnest money or we receive earnest money on like an assignment, we don't really assign, but when we do, it's there. And you know, we have notes in every single one of these cards. So like this is one I've already bought, financed, and then sold the note off. So I'm completely out of it at this point. But I have this synced up. I have a HubSpot integration to my Gmail, tracks all the emails, and tracks all the files. You know, Val and Geo and I, we all upload the files, tracks the contacts related. So like, this was my TC that was involved. This was the seller's agent, everything, and get a summary, bam, bam. And we go back. This is like a stupid simple setup for like $45 a month HubSpot, because I'm paying two $20 seats. And then it's just, then all the close lost. Close one. And if you're down here on my total amount, it's like what we made on the down payments, like our net profit on the down payment for it, what we sold the lot for, things like that. And then if I don't have like a number to estimate based on what we bought it for, you know, I just put a placeholder. And then that's like, this is what we do. We just churn these over. So then if we go over here, it's really, really easy setup. Like I'll just go in, I'll go back in, go to the deal. You can log a note, log a call, log SMS, and like I can call from the HubSpot. And then like if I was talking to this guy, same thing. Now he's correlated to the deal. All of my emails are stuck with him. And then additionally, what I've moved to is I was using Vumber. I might go back to Vumber because some of my mortgage logins for sub-2s use 2FA and they have a filter for VoIP. But sales message has honestly been extremely good. I'll say it's more good than bad. I'm using about $70 a month on it because I'm paying for 2 seats and like 8 numbers, when Vumber was costing me $45 for those same numbers, but it had less capability. Like at one point I was having Val manually move over all the numbers into the HubSpot CRM just so we could soak in data. But now Sales Message syncs all saved contacts to it. And then it's also its own standalone app. So like now, so what we do is we have our chats, calls, everything. I always stick to chats because we've set up financing our stuff on a voicemail. So we have a voicemail recording. Most of the time I have Giovanni do it now because he is so fluent in English and Spanish. He just makes one recording, ties in Spanglish all together, and then we just drop it in here in the voicemail. So when people call, they automatically get the English to Spanish, get told all the info in the house, and we're constantly trying to hone down, keep everything under a minute, and just get more and more to the point. And now with sales message, it can do an auto text sending all the info, and we're still setting all that up. I like it a lot. And then what we do in here is if we actually have the name, so let's combine chat. So this is a potential buyer. We got their name, number. I can call them, text them, schedule a meeting, all through sales message and or HubSpot. It's all synced up, contact details, and then they are synced into HubSpot right here. All the text and calls are logged. Because me, I'm a data freak. So this is I'm like 48 a month in HubSpot. I'm like, let's just round up, say 70 in a sales message. So I'm 118 in right there. I'm paying $60 between all my Googles, 60 to 80 bucks between all my Googles, because I have 3. I've got 2 work and a personal. I'm paying for a ton of storage and a couple work emails. And I use Centra right now. I've been testing it out. I'll probably move back to GPT and Claude. But then lastly, how we've been communicating on everything is I also use ClickUp for Valerie and I. And ClickUp lets you get, 6 to 8 guests. So one of my business partners, Waldo, he's on this. Giovanni, he also gets one. And then what we do is I create channels. This was actually Waldo's idea. It was a lot smarter than what I was trying to do. Because I was talking in threads, but he said create a channel per property that we're working on and then every other topic. So like, I guess that's how they do it in the corporate world, but nobody would ever keep me around, so I wouldn't know how the corporate world works. So we've got each property, so you know the subject of what you're discussing as soon as you get in there. And then we've got our accounting thread, our admin. Admin is just, me, Val, and Waldo, because Waldo's my business partner. Gio's not in that. We got a general chat. I've got AI dumping weekly info to the market data thread because you can receive emails in it. This was properties when I was trying to run more of a salesy approach, which it just doesn't really work out. I'd love to scale it, but it's not efficient unless you're doing wholesaling. So if you're doing where you're hands-on, like I do a lot of notes, I do a lot of properties where I'm the buyer, I'm the one pooling money, this just hasn't worked. I would love to get more salespeople. So like if I get sales agents, run more assignments, or run more real estate listings and buyer teams, would 100% love to get that back going again. The retail chat, I've got social media chat. This is where I talk to Val and we get everything scheduled and things like that. So if we're running a tally and we got websites and blogs, I'm also paying. So if we're, okay, I'm sorry. If we're talking about pure workforce stuff, I am about $200 all in. Unless you want to start getting finicky. So if we're doing it, we're like 70 for sales message, and then we're like 50 for HubSpot. My phone is like 220. I don't even know why it's that high. ClickUp, I think I'm like $45 right there. What else? My internet's $85. If you're going on the pure workforce aspect, $85. Power bill, let's just do $300 right there. Let's see. And then if you want to include my social media stuff, I'm paying for Buffer. I think I'm like, just say $90 in for Buffer to do all that, and then Adobe's $65. So that I'm less than $1,000 a month, making 200 to $250,000, kind of cruising. Like I don't work more than a couple hours a day if I don't want to, and that's just because I'm scrolling for deals, single family deals, and then I'm like, hey, go write up the offer. Okay. So I mean, it's a pretty simple setup. And then going back to the ClickUp, I've got spaces. This is like where Val and I talk and all the personal tasks that we need to get done, blah, 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 things like that. Marketing and outreach, that's when we decide to build out an email thing. Team management is like where our SOPs are stored. Sales team, that was for like the properties channel. We don't really have a sales team. And then property management, we have an internal ticket system for some of the rentals, where they can submit inquiries, things like that. Because when you finance, you're not doing the notes and everything. And then just our DMs. I've got the AI, I've got Geo, I've got Val, and I've got Waldo. Those are the only ones with accounts because I can't get my wife on it because she just wants to have me tell her everything. Even though I've tried to get her an account. But it's whatever makes her happy. But yeah, that's like my CRM setup. It's stupid simple. And then if you just want to go back to it, I tie everybody to companies. If it'll load. See, I've got everyone's brokerage saved. I try to save as much data as we easily access without going and paying for data scraping and all that. And we got meeting links and all that. And it's all tied in my email. Just to see like what I do. I follow up quite a bit. That's why I'm all about the data and the reminders and putting everything in the calendar and everything like that. So like this agent right here has a listing in Norman, and I will probably follow up on this. It looks like it already got pulled off market, so I will probably follow up on this tonight, depending on what they text back. And if they did pull it off market, I'll just tell them I'll still give you an offer if you can take it to your seller. And then it's still a hit or miss thing. This is probably going to be one I'm going to offer on. So like we got this one right here. You want to talk about a bad neighborhood. Maybank, Texas. The guys at REIAF, they're buying a bunch and trying to do. I know that after they talked to me, they started buying down there, and they can't tell me they didn't because I started seeing so many of their deals come into my inbox after the very first meeting with them, and I told them I was down in this area. Like this one, I'll offer on this all day. And so many people are going to look at this and say, what the hell are you doing buying a single wide mobile home? Because on single wides, I don't know if anybody didn't know this, you cannot cash out refi single wides. I actually learned this the idiotic way a few years ago. We sub-2'd one. We put we had to put in like $7,000, $7,500 to get them to move. Because, it was like they owed like 70 and the property was worth 155. So we were like, oh, we got a banger deal. Then we ended up having to put like another 13 into it. Half of that was the road, because I'm calling you out, Henderson County, because in Trinidad, Texas, and Henderson County, if you tell them, I'm going to send you a bill because I had to fix my own road, they will both point at each other and say it's the other's responsibility. So if anybody can ever fix that, please be my guest. I will hop on board in full support of it and show my receipts for what I had to do, but I don't know what weight I can do it because I don't own that property anymore. So we sub-2'd it. Single wide mobile home on 3/4 acre. That thing went FHA. We got our cash out, but for the couple months I was trying to rent it before I got a finance buyer in there, I was hitting up my small bank, back where I was living back down in Texas, and I was like, I want to pull money out. They're already sitting on a 9% mortgage right here. So I want to put a refi on it. I want to get 7% money, 7.5% money, whatever it was at the time. I want to pull 40 grand out of this thing. And they were like, what are you talking about? Like, you can refi it, but that's all we can do. I was like, what do you mean I can refi? It's real property, Anyway, apparently there's a Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac rule. You cannot pull money out. Like, you cannot cash out refi a single wide mobile home. Double wide, triple wide, good. I don't know. I guess you could just hook up to a single wide and take it away. That's why they won't let you do it. But yeah, so single wide mobile homes are strictly seller finance game for me at this point. If I can steal one of these, I will wrap it in a heartbeat. Okay. If I'm getting low enough cash offer, yeah, this is why I haven't offered on this one yet, because the septic tank is not hooked up. I forget what the description is. It was please note, utilities and sewer are not currently connected, and there is no power or water. Okay, I remember why I haven't offered it on this one. The water is not that much of an issue getting hooked up down there. Apparently, Trinity Valley Electric is a huge pain in the ass. This is what I've been told. Do not quote me. I'm not the one saying this. What buyers have told me is TVEC is a pain in the ass. Okay? So they're trying to sell this as is. If anybody's going to buy this cash, this thing's going to end up going like $40,000. They'll probably be at a loss, but they need to finish hooking all that stuff up.